I guess what first appealed to me about the story was the idea of a man surviving alone in an urban environment. I've always been fascinated by that idea. You know, I started doing music videos, and I was always trying to come up with a music video idea about that for a long time. And I was reading books like Earth Abides, and I had read Richard Matheson's novel, and so it's just something, you know, for years I've really been interested in, and really tried to find projects that I could work on with that theme. With Neville, what we sort of decided was that this guy has kind of structured himself a routine. And he's very disciplined about that routine. You know, he sort of sets alarms and he does certain things and he's very orderly and he keeps his house in order. And it's what sort of keeps him as sane as possible in a situation like this. And so part of that is the way he eats, you know, the discipline about working out and his body, you know, his haircut, the way he keeps his hair close. All those things are, you know, extreme choices for somebody who leads a very disciplined life. And it's almost as if that, you know, if that routine were to start to break down, the guy would actually fall apart. And he has to be that regimented with it. The visual style is based, you know, again, it's a very natural approach to the movie, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, actually. And what I'm really trying to focus on is really using the camera to make sure that we feel what we're supposed to feel in each scene. So if it's loneliness, you know, I might do something with the camera. If it's connection with the dog, I would do something else with the camera. So that's really how I kind of approach the scene, whether he's alone or whether he's with his dog or with somebody else, you know. If he's scared, I would, you know, I would do something else completely different. But it's really, I'm trying to use the camera based entirely on, you know, the emotional value of the scene. You know, a lot of people would just take to this role and brood. And it might be interesting, but it would be very shallow. And what's fantastic about Will is that he has such a warmth to him and such a charisma to him that even when he does that, it has so many layers. You know, there's real sympathy for him. You know, he can, you know, you have, you know, pity for him sometimes, you're scared for him sometimes, you know, you love him sometimes, you laugh with him sometimes in this, you cry with him in this, you're afraid with him. And all those layers exist in his performance. And that's really something that, you know, that Will can do where, you know, a lot of other actors would be much less dimensional than he's been in this film. You know, we started researching how you make streets empty. And, you know, one of the first ways was contacting the city and seeing how much control we could actually get, you know, in any given area, depending on the amount of time we needed. So it became a really complex system of, wow, you know, we want to shoot on the ramp leading up to Grand Central, but we need it for 6 days. And they would only give it to us on weekends. We have to split it out over 3 weekends. And, you know, only certain times can we have it. And so we sort of did that. And then even in those situations, there's only so much of an area we can control. So then we start working with visual effects on, you know, being able to basically do rig removal work for people and cars and lights and all the things in the distance that would be around. We were shooting on 6th Avenue. It was 6th Avenue, and I remember standing there. I came in, and they were doing a shot with a car racing down the middle of the street the wrong way, going south, you know, and 6th Avenue runs north, which was kind of fun. And hearing them lock up, they had, you know, 150 PAs or something all at the different streets, and we locked up, I want to say, from 42nd Street to 34th Street, or from 48th to 34th Street or something to Herald Square, and just hearing street after street after street that was getting locked before he rolled, and standing in the middle of 6th Avenue and just seeing it barren. That was a pretty amazing sight. And then just knowing that on top of that, we're adding all these other elements, you know, it's going to be really pretty incredible, but it was pretty incredible to shoot.